When you have people who have been dieting for quite some time or trying to lose weight for quite some time, the first place you have to start is their mindset, because they have been so damaged by this process. That calorie in, calorie out does not work.
If you are struggling with weight loss, this episode is for you. We explore how hypnosis combined with holistic approaches to weight loss can help. Dr. Val shares some tips you can take action on right away. In this episode, you will learn how hypnosis can help you lose weight by shifting your mindset and helping with stress management and sleep improvement. Ways that diets and classic fitness advice may sometimes sabotage weight loss, and ideas for how to build a slim, fit lifestyle you can live with. Dr. Val Franc is a dynamic and inspirational naturopathic doctor, teacher, and world traveler. She combines her passion for holistic health and wellness with over 22 years of clinical experience. She also uses hypnosis, Chinese medicine, acupuncture, and yoga in her practice. Dr. Val co-hosts Create Your Holistic Lifestyle radio show.
When you have people who have been dieting for quite some time or trying to lose weight for quite some time, the first place you have to start is their mindset, because they have been so damaged by this process. That calorie in, calorie out does not work.
Right.
It has never worked. And we've been programmed to say that, oh, if I increase my cardio and if I eat less and if I eat clean and I eat healthy, that I'm going to lose all this weight. And if I'm not, it's my fault. And so you have people who are going to personal trainer after personal trainer after personal trainer, and or going to nutritionists or going to their medical doctor, and they're getting this health advice, and it's all wrong, and it's all designed for you to gain weight. And then they gain weight and they can't lose the weight, or they lose it and then they gain it back. That's not success. And they think it's their fault. So they become so damaged and so disconnected from their body. They're so disconnected, they have no idea. And so really starting that process of saying, first of all, let's kind of expose the lies for what they are. So that calorie in, calorie out doesn't count. The first place that I would start off with, honestly, eat real food. The question then becomes, we have to decide what is real food. How do we find it? Can we get it anymore? And then, of course, I like to look into food sensitivities, because that was a huge thing for me. And I've seen people drop 20 pounds in like 1 or 2 months just from taking out the foods that are causing inflammation. So we kind of need to take a look at that. We need to take a look at hormone balance and kind of say, hey, with respect to hormones, how much is this really playing a role here? Because your health is 1 part habit, 1 part hormone. And so if your hormones are off balance, you could be eating super clean and forget it. Your weight isn't going to budge. And I see so many patients at certain stages where they're under a lot of stress, or as their hormones are fluctuating, and they're like, I'm doing the same thing I was doing before, and now I'm not losing weight, or now I'm gaining weight, and this doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Then I would say, you have to drink pure water. You have to get out the garbage. You have to take out the chemicals. Any type of diet product, even sugar. Sugar is like it's like cocaine. They call sugar the new cocaine. And any type of sugar, fruit sugar, cane sugar, date sugar, all of that sugar, get it out. And there's so many people who come to me, and you look at their products, you start reading the labels, and you'll see sugar in everything, dextrose, sugar. And they're like, oh, but I thought this was healthy. It doesn't have any sugar. It just has maple syrup. It just has honey. Well, that's sugar. And that's a major addiction formulation. So get all that stuff out. And then make sure you're sleeping properly. Not getting too much sleep, not getting too little sleep. Make sure you have a good stress management program. The stress management is massive. And as you know, hypnosis has got some great tools for managing stress.
And sleep. It can help people sleep better too. Yeah.
Absolutely. And then, of course, make sure as well that you're getting the right type of exercise for your body at the right time. Not too much, not too little. And so the exercise, and women need to eat and exercise differently than men. And we don't hear that a lot. We just seem to have people focused on, okay, just do more cardio, so burn more calories and eat less or eat clean. That seems to be the formula that we've been told for years and years, and that's all a lie. So there's a lot of different things that you can do, but you're really finding out what is the underlying cause for you. And then having a system that is designed for your body, for your DNA, for your biochemistry, for your hormone balance, for your lifestyle, for where you are in space and time. And you have to have someone that's going to help you to make it workable for you. I think one of the important things is to have something that's designed for your lifestyle. Because, for example, you have something like those Slim Fast bars or those Slim Fast shakes where you have like a bar or a shake for breakfast, you have one for lunch, and then you have a regular sized dinner. Or some people try to do intermittent fasting. Women try to do intermittent fasting the way that men do. So they try to fast. Right now, what's very popular, Dave Asprey and the Bulletproof Executive have made it very popular to kind of start eating at 2 and eat from 2 until 8. So, and then go the rest of the day without eating. And that can throw off women's hormones. And that's not right for some people's lifestyles. They can't, it's going to make them hungry. It's not what their body is asking for. And so a lot of people, it's not workable. It's not realistic in their lifestyle long term. And so they can lose some weight maybe at first, but then they're going to gain it all back. Well, what do you expect? And if you starve the body, if you eat too little calories, your body's going to fight back. Your body's going to think, hey, this is starvation mode. Your body knows better than you. This is starvation. We have to protect ourselves. We have to hold on to more weight. So you have to take a look at what's going to be workable and what's going to work long term. It does you no good if you lose something in the short term or if it's something that's not sustainable, like counting calories or counting points. And you have to weigh things and measure things and think about this, that, or the other thing. It's not workable long term. So stop starving yourself.
Right. And when people
With
do
respect,
that, they're thinking about food all day long. Oh, how much of this can I eat? How
absolutely.
much of that can I eat? And it becomes an obsession. So there's that aspect
Right.
of things too.
Rather than honoring my body and saying, okay, what is my body looking for exercise today? Right? So, we talked about women and men needing different types of exercise. Absolutely, they do. And with women, if they're under a great deal of stress and their hormones are going off balance, high intensity cardiovascular activity can raise cortisol levels and cause them to put on weight. So you can actually over exercise. You can do too much cardio. So I know for me, one of the things that happened was I wanted to support a friend of mine who had a physical injury. And so the whole community of friends got together and said, okay, we're all going to start, we're all going to kind of register for this half marathon, and we're all going to start training to help him support him in his healing journey. So we're all going to train together. And so we thought this is going to be so supportive. And that's lovely. And I have never trained for a half marathon in my life. And my body is like, I don't run. Like that's the mindset. I don't run. So already I have to go in and change the mindset, right? But then on top of that, but I want to do that because I want to be so supportive of him and his friends. They're such lovely people. So, and then also, so I have not only the mindset of my entire life up until this point of, no, you don't run, you're not a runner, you're not athletic. And then I have to get over the mindset as well is that it's very unusual for someone who's over the age of 50 to start training for half marathons. So then I have to start getting into this new mindset. So I'm creating this new mindset, but I have to be mindful at the same time that, wait a minute, as women approach menopause, their hormones are out of balance a lot easier. They get out of balance a lot easier. So if I overtrain, if I do too much cardio, I'm going to throw my hormones off and I'm going to gain weight. So I can be exercising more and still gain weight.
Mm.
And I've actually seen this with a patient. I had a female patient come into my office. She's like, she was training, same thing, training for a half marathon. She said, since I started training, I started gaining weight. She's like, what gives? She said, I've been at all these running communities and they tell me, oh no, just track what you're eating. You can't be eating the same thing. This has to be the foods. And she's like, no, it is not the foods because I've been tracking it. I've been tracking it the whole time. I know exactly how much I'm eating. So we looked at it and she had been tracking her macros. And so she knew her calories, her percentage of carbohydrates and fats and proteins. And I looked at what she was eating versus how she was training. And I said, well, here's your problem. You're exercising too much and you're not eating enough. And that's why you're gaining weight. So what you need to do is exercise less and eat more. she couldn't, she was like, wait, what? So she was like, okay, I've already signed up for this half marathon. I have to keep training the way that I am. But afterwards, I'm going to do what you say, and we're going to prove this point. We're going to see what happens. So she ended up gaining more weight as she approached it. She ran the half marathon. Then she did what I suggested, and the weight came off like that. She said, I couldn't believe it. So you have to be mindful that there are points and times in your life when you're a female, your hormones will go off balance a lot faster than males' hormones. They'll experience the environment. If the environment is changing and shifting, they'll experience that as more traumatic a lot earlier. Because what happens with women is we're designed and built. We have these hormones that help us get pregnant, but the body kind of knows, hey, if there's not going to be enough food in the environment, we don't want you to get pregnant. So they'll start throwing off the hormones and say, that's it, we'll shut you down. So we don't have to be in a time of stress. It could be that we're not eating enough and the body says that's it. But it could be we've got enough food, but we're just finding the environment stressful. We've got a lot of work. We're living a high performance lifestyle. We're on the go all the time. Those things just tell our bodies it's not safe.
Right. And they tell our
To be
bodies
with
to
your
hold on to weight because it's protection.
Exactly. So looking at all of those different areas and really designing the foods, your lifestyle, vitamins and minerals if they're necessary, according to your DNA, your hormone balance, your body's biochemistry, what's happening cellularly, what you need to regenerate and rebuild, and then where you are in space and time, your whole mind, body, and spirit all together, and giving you the techniques and tools that you need, not designed for someone else, but designed for who you are right now with the skill set that you have. That's what I love doing. And some of my patients love, cooking, and some don't. They don't ever want to cook. And so how do you work around that? I offer a complimentary, no obligation fireside chat. Like, just let's sit down together, let's chat. Let's see if I'm the right person for your healthcare team. Let's see if I can help you. Once I have someone who we've decided, yes, we want to work together, then we go through an initial visit, which is an hour and a half in length, and we take a real deep dive. And so, yeah, blood work is great to do. Again, maybe genetic testing, maybe hormone testing, maybe food sensitivity testing, maybe testing for vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, maybe testing for how the stool is or what's coming out in the stool to see if there's any type of disruption in the good and bad bacteria in the intestinal tract. We kind of take a look at each person as an individual and kind of say, well, what does this person need? And so maybe you've had, some blood work done. Maybe your medical doctor has done all of the tests that make sense to do. And then we don't need to repeat that. But if there's any gaps that we see, and if we can start to hear from how the body's speaking, okay, these are areas we should take a look at. And then we can take that deeper dive. For my elite athletes, I work with some professional and Olympic athletes, and I work with a lot of CEOs and people who have what I call a high performance lifestyle. And so I love to, just really take that deep dive and look at the genetic tests, look at what's happening with food sensitivities, look at what's happening on a cellular level with their hormones, and then just hold their hand and take them through a process where I'm saying, here's what's happening within your system, and here's how we move through it and heal the body. So there's a lot of different things that we can do,
Yeah.
but you always want to individualize. I don't like cookie cutter. And anybody who tries to sell you cookie cutter, like this is how everybody should be eating, this is how everybody should be exercising, this is how everybody should be, they're wrong. It's not going to work. Some people's bodies love vegan. Some people's bodies love plant-based. Some people's bodies love keto. Some people's bodies love high protein. You need someone who can help you to figure that out. And you have to understand that just because your body wants vegan right now doesn't mean that it's always going to. You have to be ready to listen to your body and shift when you need to. And I think that a lot of people get hung up on, I have to eat this way.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So share with people how they can contact you if they're interested in doing a fireside chat or they want to find out more. How did they get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Well, they can go to my website, drvalfranc.com. So drvalfranc.com. Or they can call my office at 416 901 3881. 416-901-3881. Or they can reach my executive assistant, Chloe, at info@drvalfranc.com. That's info@drvalfranc.com.
Join us for the next podcast where we will be exploring ways that hypnosis can help you free yourself and others from guilt and shame. And to find out more about how hypnosis training can help you or what it takes to become a professional hypnotist, visit hypnosistrainingcanada.com. Remember to click the button subscribe, share the podcast with a friend, and please leave us a review so you can help others benefit from the podcast too. Until next time.
You've been listening to The Hypnosis Show with Robbie Spear-Miller. Tune in next time to learn more about how you can change your life with hypnosis. And if you are interested in learning more about training opportunities, go to hypnosistrainingcanada.com and schedule a free consultation.